along with his postdoc Linda Buck, won the Nobel Prize in 2004 for ironing out what it means to have a mammalian sensory system like the nose. And what we see in the nose is that every neuron in the nose expresses only one olfactory receptor. So it can pretty much only respond to a chemical that binds only to that receptor.
Wow.
So there's a level of specificity. And speaking about epigenetic inheritance, transgenerational epigenetic inheritance, what does it mean for us to be stressed because of our ancestors? This is what we're missing in the field, and this is why I'm so proud that my lab has been able to bring this to the field, the level of specificity. Because we're not talking about your feelings getting hurt. We're talking about an odor that only binds and activates this one receptor in this nose.
Right.
And what we've been able to replicate, because another lab did this first and it came up with a lot of controversy, and then demonstrate to a higher extent, is that those neurons that smell that almond, you take that mouse out, not the mom, only the dad. You breathe that, and you look at the next generation. And those generations are born with different olfactory
Get the hell out of here.
So how do you
That is
it's not as if
insane.
you can look up the nose and say, oh, you've got more, or you've got the same. So how are you finding your results through?
Yes, we have a really cool new technique.
Amazing.
Thank you. Yes. Yes,
I mean,
that
that's
is.
really, I mean,
Let me back up just for a minute.
Yeah.
You described the experiment as though it was written on a tablet somewhere, but you had to sit down with either yourself or with colleagues and figure out what would make a good test
Hands down.
for the hypothesis.
Hands down. That took a lot of time.
I just want to give credit.
Thank you.
It's
Exactly.
easy to say, put him in,
No.
give him no, you have to think that through.
I mean, that's just tremendous.
Okay. And you want it to be simple enough
Yes.
that there's not a lot of complicating other factors to
Exactly.
isolate the causes and effects.
Right.
On the nose.
That's
Yes.
so great.
And it's not an easy part of the brain to get to. We created techniques, and we use techniques now in the lab. We do brain clearing. We can clear the entire tissue.
Okay, that's
Yeah, I'm
okay,
gonna see.
but-
You know,
Okay.
listen. Let me just
And
say,
use light sheet imaging, and
Right
then
now,
it's
this
so
is
cool.
Brain clearing.
This is
Brain
some
clearing and light
straight
sheet,
up
yes,
they clone
it's great.
Tyrone stuff that I'm not sure.
Transgenerationally, yes. Look at
Yeah.
the little transgenerational Tyrone.
So how exactly and where exactly?
That's gonna be the name of my first book, like Transgenerational Tyrone. Intergenerational inheritance of trauma.
So what's
Yes.
the brain clearing though? That's how do you
Well,
get to that space?
I totally
where-
skipped a part because we're
Yeah.
seeing that the offspring have a brain that looks like the parent. Well, I didn't tell you what the parent brain looks like. We take the animal out of this chamber after 3 days of odor shock pairing. We actually let them relax. Day 10, they actually get to, have a little fun. They breed because we're going to look at those kids later. And 21 days later, we ask them to sacrifice their life, and then we look at their brain.
Right.
And if you look at the animals that just got an odor and no shock, or just got a shock and no odor, or got odor and shock but it's not co-terminating at the same time, their brains all up the same. The paired animals, we call it. The animals got the odor co-terminating with shock. They have more neurons that respond to that odor. So I want to give a second to give the beauty of biology that sits there before we even get to the next generation. The brain takes energy to make new things, to change.
It's
And we
an
have
electric,
more
It's an
neurons.
electric device, so it makes sense.
So what period of time does it take for this generation of more receptors to actually happen?
We are
In the
seeing it
adult.
in the order of 21 days, about a month. Cool part about the main olfactory epithelium, there's stem cells in this area.
What part? That's the part where the smell.